Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. What am I gonna speak about today? Well, one thing that has been moving through me is the power within silence. Zip. And using your ears instead of the word vomit that can come out of our mouth with the inability to actually listen to what people are saying to us out of silence. So much of the time, and this it goes for me, I am one who has done this, where I actually have an inability to listen to people. Because while I'm listening, I'm so focused on getting my point across that I am twisting what they're actually saying to me. And it has caused a lot of disturbances that maybe didn't need to be there. Because I allowed my emotional body to get turned on immediately because I heard one thing that I did not like, that my trigger did not like, and I honed in on it, and I made a storyline in my head, and whatever they said, I would only hear what would make sense to that storyline that was created out of my trigger. You see? So in life, when you're presented with conversations, uncomfortable conversations, because we have a great time listening, like when it's just asking someone how they're doing, like where there's no ability really to get triggered within those moments, we can listen and respond accordingly. That is polite. But the really powerful technique I've been rehearsing in my brain for my future partner, and I seriously will rehearse this practice as if I'm imagining myself in a relationship being triggered, and I'm rehearsing this technique now in my life when I'm not even in a relationship. But so it's ingrained in my mind that, okay, when these things happen, this is what I'm going to do, because it's going to be like a default in my subconscious mind of these, okay, I'm programming myself for this now. But it's even more powerful when you are in a relationship and you can practice this, and you can slip and fall, of course. But to even approach your partner, hey babe, I want to try a new technique while we get into a fight. When we have disagreements, I really want to practice when we speak for each other to take a moment of silence to really understand and question the things we are saying before our reactions come up. And you could even say out loud when things like this happen, our reaction's coming on, just to say it out loud to let your partner know, okay, a reaction's coming on. I can feel it in my body. I'm feeling this way. I think I misunderstood you potentially. I need to ask you what you meant by that before it gets out of hand. Because I get it, like when we are in relationships, they mirror back to us our deepest set triggers and shadow aspects of ourselves. That is very, very scary to see. It is. But when you are on this path of self-awareness and self-development and wanting to become better, those are the opportunities that will make you better. Those are the opportunities that will grow you individually, but in a partnership. Those opportunities. And this could be, yes, in relationships, using that power of listening with your ears instead of listening with your mind that's triggered. Actually, when you do feel that coming on, syncing with your breath to ground you. Because we can get lost real quick. Literally in a second, we can get lost in our emotions. So using that breath as an anchor point to what we know, to what we're practicing, to what our intentions are. Another point I want to make, if you experience social anxiety, or when you're around a lot of people and you get influxed with a lot of emotion and anxiety, that's also a powerful opportunity not to be so in your mind and lost in your thoughts. That's another powerful thing to do when you feel that coming on, is to breathe with intention of, I'm really needing to ground myself right now to my heart, to my surroundings, to what is actually happening here and now. I need to be connected to the present moment, because when we do get in that spiral in our head, it takes us out of the present moment. So that's even frightening, because now we're here, but we're so many other places in our head of, oh, we're over here now thinking about what that person just thought about me. Oh, we're over here about, oh, how is this experience gonna go tonight? Da 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 da. Yeah, no, we need to sync with our breath more and become the observer. Become curious about people. Do not try to make people, or don't look too much into what is happening that you see around you. Become more curious of, I'm at this social event right now and I am getting anxiety. Shit. All right, let's breathe. Let's gain a sense of where I am right now, my surroundings. All right. Is there anything that is provoking me to feel unsafe? Is there anything here right now that is a potential hazard for me to feel unsafe? No, I don't see anything. So what is making me feel so unsafe? My thoughts. Oh, I'm in my head again. Okay, I've experienced this before. I know that it's when I'm in my head and I'm overthinking things, I can't actually be in the moment and enjoy myself. All right. I know I can't turn this off immediately, but what I can do is to tell myself it's okay, and to sync my breath with the moment, and to instead become curious of people. Instead of curious about what other people are thinking of me, why don't I become curious about them? About who they are? Why don't I just shut up for a second and not need to project myself onto people and prove myself, and literally listen? Because then you can hear people and see people. Yeah, this was a little tangent today, but you know what I mean? These are just things that have been in my awareness too, where I'm like, holy shit. We are way too much in here most of the time, especially like when the uncomfortable happens. And I still get like that. I'm not a saint. But when I make these videos, it allows me to become aware also of what I go through, and to use it as an example for other people that may be experiencing these same things, and that there's always a solution. There's always a solution if you look for a solution. But if you keep continually looking for the problem, you will continually see the problem. Yeah. So before you go into things that you know in the past have made you feel anxious, whether that be confrontation, whether that be social events, whether that be meeting new people, it's really important to rehearse yourself being in those situations with your mind, visualizing it, so then your subconscious can get a hold of that idea. It can imprint it. So when things like that come up, it's a default that you can go to, or at least have in your awareness of it being an option, that it doesn't have to just spiral into something that it has been before. There's a new way of doing things. There always is. There's always a higher way of doing something, and there's always a lower way. But like I've said in previous videos, when you know better, you do better. So don't beat up on yourself when you've done this in the past, because you've had no other techniques to assist you. It's not your fault. Being a human being is messy. It's messy. But we don't have to continually create messes in our lives. We know when a cup is full and we push it over, it's gonna spill. Same goes for us. We know if, okay, we're full of unprocessed emotions that are filled to the brim, maybe that are coming up while we're in a disagreement. Okay, we have to be aware that our partner could accidentally push over our cup. Now, that's not their fault per se. It could be an accident. They could have pushed it over because they said something that triggered something in you, and that made a mess in front of you. That's not to say that they meant to intentionally push over your glass. But you guys could do the cleanup work together of, hey, you spilled over my glass per se. This is a metaphor of like, you triggered me here. I feel now there's a mess in front of me. Can you help me clean it up? Can we work together here of understanding each other and understanding where this came from? Can we take a pause and reflect on maybe where this trigger is coming from in my life? And it could have nothing to do with you even. But do you mind? Can we just take some space to reflect on why I'm being triggered right now? You see, these are great things to just have in your awareness of options when you are in disagreements. Because I'm one who in the past, like I've said, I've been heavily triggered and there's been no access to this in my brain. It's just been me wanting to prove my point, to make sure my partner hears what I'm saying. And he may have gotten the point 10 times. But if I'm still coming from that triggered spot, doesn't matter. He could do, or she, whatever, could do anything to let you know that they hear you. But if you aren't allowing yourself to hear yourself, doesn't matter what they do. Also note, I just want to say this because this has been coming up for me. If you're in a disagreement with your partner and like it's not like a disagreement that has spiraled already too much to the point where it's like, okay, you actually do need to take space. Let's say it's something little coming up, and let's say your female partner is triggered because of you misunderstood her or you forgot to do something and and you can see that the emotional body's coming online, and you can be aware of it, and you look at her and you don't try to defend yourself in the moment. You don't try to be the hero for yourself and protect yourself. Instead, you're more concerned about protecting her because you're seeing her emotions play out and how it's hurting her. And you can be like, baby, come here, hold her hug her so tight that she's like, whoa, you're hugging me? But I'm emotional. This usually repels people. But that allows her to soften into you. And that alone, that small act of love, of just a hug, allows her to feel seen, loved, and heard, just by that small act of being like, I see you, I feel you, I feel you in the moment, I feel you. Let's sit down, come here, let's talk about it. Okay, so much of the time we both get our defenses up right away and we're fighting a war when we're supposed to be on the same team, fighting the problem together as a team. Easier said than done, because I don't want to act like a hypocrite here because I haven't done that in the past. But these are things I've been very aware of how I've been showing up in relationships and how in my next one, I want things to change. I want things to change. I want to change in a relationship. I want to be different. So this video, if it's helping you, I'm so glad it is, but it's also helping me get this ingrained in my mind, because there's different options out there for disagreements, for arguments, to being heard, to being seen. There's different ways of going about things that doesn't have to be from a place of defense and with a shut off heart. There's different ways. All right, you guys, I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope this video opened your eyes maybe to new ways of thinking or showing up for you and your partner. All right, see you in the next video.